Across Australia's wilderness lie places of breathtaking beauty, but also of fear. Places where legends, tragedy, and unexplained phenomena collide. From rivers that whisper with ancient voices, to mountains where entire groups have vanished without a trace. These sites have earned reputations as cursed, haunted, even evil. Tonight, we'll journey into the unknown and count down 10 of the most sinister locations in the land down under, starting with the least disturbing and ending with the one that many believe is the most terrifying place in all of Australia. Title card appears with a dark rumble. Australia's top 10 cursed places. Number 10. At number 10, we find a place built to honor the dead, but long rumored to attract something far darker. This is the Mount Macedon Cross, a war memorial perched high above Victoria. Locals speak of strange ceremonies held in the shadows of the cross, rituals whispered to involve chanting, fires, and symbols carved into the ground. Visitors who wander here after dark report the sound of footsteps circling them, disembodied voices reciting prayers, and sudden drops in temperature, as if unseen figures were gathering nearby. Most come here for peace, but some leave convinced they've brushed against the supernatural, a monument to remembrance, or a beacon for something that feeds on fear. Number 9. At number 9, we travel to Tasmania, to one of the most haunted penal colonies in the world. This is Port Arthur. Built in the 1800s, Port Arthur was a place of punishment and despair, where thousands of convicts endured brutal labor, isolation, and death. The walls still echo with their suffering. Visitors claim to hear chains dragging across the floors, voices whispering in the night, and the cries of children in abandoned quarters. Ghost tours are now common here, and even skeptics admit to sudden chills, the feeling of being watched, and apparitions that vanish when approached. Port Arthur stands as a reminder of human cruelty, and perhaps a prison that even death could not unlock. Number 8. At number 8, we come to Mount Warning, known to the Bundjalung people as Wollambin, the cloud catcher. To outsiders, it's a popular climb, but to the local tribe, it is sacred ground, a place never to be disturbed. Legend says that those who disrespect the mountain invite misfortune. Over the years, climbers have fallen to their deaths, others injured in sudden accidents, and many report an overwhelming feeling of being watched the higher they climb. Scientists blame the treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather, but for the Bundjalung, these tragedies are proof of a warning long ignored, that Wollambin is not just a mountain, it is a guardian that punishes those who trespass. Number 7. At number 7, we arrive at Fremantle, home to one of Australia's most beautiful art centres and one of its darkest secrets. Before it held exhibitions, this place was the Fremantle Lunatic Asylum. Built in the 1860s, the asylum housed hundreds of men and women suffering in grim conditions. Many died here, some from illness, others from neglect, and some under circumstances never explained. Today, staff and visitors speak of footsteps echoing through deserted wings, lights switching on by themselves, and shadowy figures watching from doorways. What was once a house of suffering now seems to echo with voices that refuse to be silenced. Number 6. At number 6 lies a river that seems ordinary until you know its story. In 1908, 2 friends camped along the Namoy. Only one returned alive. Harry Johnson's skull was smashed, his body weighted and thrown into the water. But that brutal crime was just the beginning. Since then, the Namoy has been plagued by strange phenomena, animals bolting in terror, campers overwhelmed by hallucinations, and travelers consumed by sudden panic. Aboriginal legend warns of the Bunyip, a monstrous creature said to haunt these waters. And in 1934, a man named George Knott vanished here. His car was found in the river, but his body never was. The Namoy flows quietly through New South Wales, but many believe its current carries a curse. Number 5. At number 5, we reach Mount Lofty, a breathtaking viewpoint that hides a chilling reputation. For decades, it has been one of Australia's most notorious suicide spots. Locals tell of an unseen force here, a strange urge that compels visitors to the edge. Survivors describe feeling suddenly pulled toward the drop, as if something beyond their control was calling them down. Flash of a dark silhouette standing at the cliff before vanishing. Hikers also report ghostly figures watching from the tree line, and voices carried on the wind that whisper their names. Beautiful by day, but by night. Mount Lofty is a place where many believe death itself waits in the mist. Number 4. At number 4, we find a place of beauty that hides a deadly secret. To tourists, it's Babinda Boulders, but the locals know it as the Devil's Pool. According to legend, Ulana, a woman forbidden to love another, threw herself into the waters here. Her spirit, they say, still lingers, dragging men to their deaths. Since 1959, at least 17 men have drowned in these deceptively calm pools. Witnesses describe victims pulled under by unseen hands, fighting against a current that should not exist. Officials blame hidden whirlpools and sudden floods, but those who've seen it happen insist the water itself wants you. Number 3. At number 3, we descend underground into the vast mining tunnels of Mount Isa. For decades, this site has fueled Australia's economy while consuming the lives of countless workers. Cave-ins and explosions claimed many, their bodies never recovered, and some believe their spirits never left. Miners whisper about footsteps in empty shafts, metallic banging that comes from walls of solid rock, and ghostly figures watching from the shadows. Even modern workers admit they feel followed, their lamps flickering as the temperature drops. In Mount Isa, the air is heavy with more than dust and stone. It carries the weight of the dead. Number 2. At number 2, we travel along the historic Victoria Pass, a road built in the 1800s and one of the most haunted stretches of highway in Australia. Back in the colonial days, bushrangers and highwaymen turned this route into a killing ground. Travelers were robbed, beaten, and many never made it through alive. Even today, motorists report a ghostly woman drenched in blood, standing in the middle of the road, begging for help, before vanishing into thin air. Some say she was a victim of those long-forgotten crimes, condemned to relive her final moments again and again. Victoria Pass is more than a road through the mountains. It's a passage through history's darkest shadows. Number 1. At number 1, we come to a place so feared, even the Aboriginal people refuse to go near it. This is Black Mountain, Kalkajaka, the Mountain of Death. The rocks themselves seem alive. They fracture, explode, and breathe hot winds through hidden caverns. Those who enter describe moans, wails, and a foul stench rising from the depths. For centuries, stories have told of spirits and demons devouring intruders. Modern accounts speak of pilots losing instruments, strange lights in the sky, and whole groups who vanish without a trace. A courier in 1877, an outlaw named Sugarfoot Jack, even police officers and cave explorers, all gone, as if the mountains swallowed them. Some say it hides giant serpents. Others believe it conceals an alien base, guarded by reptilian creatures. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Black Mountain has earned its title as Australia's most cursed place, a place where fear itself takes form and waits for the next soul to enter.